Second graders, we are now going to be doing 15-9, using objects, use objects. Okay, we have been practicing measuring straight lines, and now we are going to measure lines that have a curve that are not straight, or jagged lines, or jagged ribbons, and so forth. We are using a ruler. If we had a tape measure, we can measure things that are round, like a ball, or your head, or a pot that a plant might be in. We could measure those things with a tape measure. But when we're going to measure something like this on our paper with a ruler, we need to have like a ribbon or a piece of string or something to use, or a piece of yarn to measure. So today you're going to need a ribbon or a piece of string or a piece of yarn or something to measure. Okay? Now I'm going to start with this snake here. To me, to my eyes, the snake looks longer. So I'm going to begin, and I'm going to take my piece of string, and I'm going to try to get it so that it's not going to be easy. I mean, you could tape it if you needed to too, but I think I can do this. And now he's about that long, so I'm going to put my finger right here, and I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to set that string aside. And now my snake had measured this long. So I'm going to take it and put it out the long way. I'm going to take my ruler, and on there it says measuring in inches. So which side should I use for inches? Yep, it's the bigger, with the numbers with the larger amount of space in between. This is the centimeters, this is the inch side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my ruler down, and I'm going to take my string and put it right at the tip, right where that black line is, and I'm going to stretch it across. And maybe I better put it this way so you can see it. I'm going to stretch it across, and if you'll notice, it went all the way to 8. It's not quite 8.5. Well, it is pretty close to 8.5, but I'll let you have 8 or 8.5. So we're going to, mine was pretty close to 8.5, so I'm going to put 8.5. Even though in the book it said 8. When I measured it out, it felt pretty much like 8.5, so I'm going to leave that. Okay, so now I'm going to use this to measure the chain. Okay, so I'm going to kind of follow it along, and I might have to cut some of this off. That's why I started with the longer one. So about right there, I'm going to cut that off. And now let's see how long the chain is. So I'm going to put this here. Oops, excuse me, I'm going to put this here because we're measuring in inches. I'm going to put this right on the end, boys and girls. Hold it there, stretch it all the way, and what did I get? 7. If you can see that, it's 7. So we'll put 7 there. Now I'm going to pull this back down. And I'm going to go like this to here, here to here, here to here. And I'm going to put my thumb right there. And I'm going to cut this portion off. And now I'm going to measure this one. Okay, from here. And what did we get? That's 6 inches. So we have 6 inches for the ribbon, 7 inches for the chain, and 8.5 inches for the snake. Now, if I did not do this if I did this too quickly for you and not a good time for you, it was taking you longer, remember, just pause the video so that you have an opportunity to measure using your ribbon or string or piece of yarn. Okay, now you're gonna do the same thing on the inside, okay? It says about 5 inches, so I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna cut out like this. And let's see what we end up with. So from here to here, yep, it's about 5 inches. So that was correct. All right, now to start here, since I know that my string that I cut up is not long enough to do this one, I'll have to get another piece of string and start using that. Okay, now since I have that pretty tight, I can let go of that end because I know I measured that correctly, and I could finish with this, and I could cut right here. Notice I pinch it right where I think it is. I don't know which one it was. Is this it? No. Sorry, guys. It was a little crazy of me. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to put it here. I'm going to measure it out. And can you see where it ends? What number it ends at? Excuse me. Can you see where it ends? Yep, right at the 8. So we will put 8. Okay, so I'm going to let you go ahead and do this. And it says, how can objects help you find the length of curvy paths? So a string or ribbon can be a guide on a curvy path. A string or ribbon could be a guide on a curvy path that we can measure on a ruler. A string or ribbon can be a guide on a curvy path that we can measure on a ruler. That's quite the sentence, but I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Hopefully you can see this. Let me move this over a little bit. Yeah, I can't zoom in or get it closer because, but maybe you could. Oh, here we go. Because of this contraption I have to videotape. I'm not at my house. Be a guide on a curvy path that we can measure on a ruler. On a ruler. And you'll just have to pause if you need more time. Okay, then you're going to do this one, this, and this one. Would it take more feet or more yards to measure the length of a roof? And remember, 12 inches is 1 foot. 3 of these is in a yard, okay? Over here, the blank is longer than the worm. So something's longer than the worm. What do you think is longer than the worm on this one? I don't even think, we don't even need to measure, guys. So which one's longer? Here's the worm, which one's longer, the caterpillar or the snake? That's right, the snake is longer than the worm. The worm is shorter than the worm. The worm the worm is longer than what? So this worm is longer than what? The caterpillar, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you. So the snake is longer than the, what's the snake longer than? The worm. The worm is longer than the caterpillar. The snake is longer than the worm. So the snake is longer than the, oh, yeah, we know it's longer than, you want to put caterpillar. Boy, can you tell it's late at night that I'm doing this? Jeepers. Don't cross out because on yours, you want it to be neat, use an eraser. And I apologize. Oof, I guess I'm a little tired right now. Okay, let's look down here. Number 9, the snake is 11 inches long. So let's put 11 inches. The worm is 6 inches. Let's put 6 inches. Oh, the worm is 6 inches shorter than the snake. Oh, don't put 6 inches. So if we took 6 from here, how big would that worm be? Let's see. 11 minus 6, because it's 6 inches shorter, is 5. So it's 5 inches, because it's shorter. We're comparing. And 4 inches longer than the caterpillar. So if this caterpillar is shorter than the worm, and this worm is 4 inches longer than that, it's 5 inches, it's 4 inches longer than this. How big would that caterpillar be? You're right if you guessed 1 inch. Because you could take 5 minus 4, because they said it's 4 inches longer, and you would get 1. Okay? Down here it says draw a picture with a curvy path. So you could just do anything. You don't want to make it too curvy because you're going to make it difficult for yourself. Then take a ribbon or string, measure it, and tell how many inches it is. Okay, we're measuring in inches. All right. Okay. Let's see, your clue word is worm. So let's go now to your homework. So you'll want to put your name on this and the clue word that I just gave you. Okay, 15:9. The path is about 6 inches long because they used a string and then they measured it, straightened it out. Use a string to measure this path. It says 3, and this one. So you could use a ruler with this one, right? And figure out how many inches long it is. So you'll need to add this, this, and this, okay? It's only 2 points on the front, so you want to get all these right. This one, you're going to use a ruler, measure this, put it, measure this, label it, this label it, this label it, and this label it. Add them all together, show your work, stack and solve, and put how many inches. Then you're going to take a piece of string, measure that, and then straighten it with a ruler and tell me how many inches. This one, use a ruler, line it up. Oh, it's inches, guys. Line it up. That's 3, so you'll put 3 inches here, measure this, measure this, measure this, and make sure you label each one of those and add it up and tell me how many. And then here's a string that you gotta do. Mrs. Green sews these patterns on cloth with thread using her sewing machine. She needs to know how much thread to buy. Which pattern does she need to measure with a string? If you don't remember, go back and look, either here or in your lesson that we just did. Which one would you have to use a string for? Okay. All right, boys and girls, sorry. We are done with 15:9, and we'll see you next time. Bye.